Hello, welcome to another week of Pilates. I'm Lesley Garrison with the Mark Morris Dance Group. Welcome to my home, my kitchen / living room area. So we're going to do a Pilates class today, and if you have a yoga block, great. We're probably going to use this, and if you don't have a yoga block, grab a thick book. Maybe a Jonathan Franzen book, maybe not. Yeah, that's all we're gonna need. Take a moment to donate to Mark Morris Dance Group's Dance On Recovery Fund if you have that available to you. That'll help us continue performing, and it'll help us be able to keep the dance center open and give you all the wonderful things that you look to us for. So please donate if that's available to you right now. Right. We're going to start lying on your backs, knees bent, feet on the floor. Just resting your hands on your low abdomen. We're just going to start with some breathing, slowing the nervous system down. Take an inhale into your low belly and feel your hands rise underneath or above your belly. Sending nice expansive thoughts into the bowl of your pelvis. Imagining your bones nice and heavy. Sacrum is wide and flat. Let's let that breath move up your spine to your low ribs. So you can take your hands to your low ribs and just noticing the expansion and the release of your rib cage. Seeing if you can find that expansion to the back part of your rib cage. So wrap your thumbs around to the back. So you're sort of encompassing the sides and the back of your rib cage. And really see if you can feel your ribs expanding side to side on this next breath. On the next breath, include a sense of filling up the back of your rib cage as well. One more deep breath or a couple more, and rest your hands on your heart. Up by your collarbones. Send the breath all the way up there. So this sense of breath coming from your pelvic floor through your pelvis, your waist, your rib cage, all the way out through the neck and the crown of the head. One more deep breath. Feeling heavier on every exhale. Great, let's take our hands back to our hips. We're going to take an easy 6 to 12 pelvic tilt. So nice and subtle feeling, really imagining this coming from a deep place. So I'm going to tuck my tailbone under, rock onto my lumbar spine. And then I'm going to reach my pubic bone through my inner thighs into a little bit of an arch. Tucking the tailbone under, imprinting the low back. Rocking the pelvis around the femur bones into a little bit of an arch. Continue with this movement and take your hands and put them on your rib cage. So the rib cage is going to stay out of it as you're articulating the pelvis. So imagine deepening your back ribs into the mat, softening the front ribs down. You can give yourself a little encouragement. You can maybe pull your front ribs down. That's sort of helpful for me. Good. Finding a neutral pelvis. A good clue for neutral pelvis is your 2 hip points and your pubic bone on the same plane. So this triangle. If you're not there, don't force it, but that's what we're aiming for eventually. We're going to take a clock. So we're going to circle the pelvis. Imagining we have a little marble bouncing on the face of our abdomen. We're going to tuck our tailbone under. The marble's going to roll to the right hip point. Down through that 12 o'clock position. The left hip point. And center. We're going to do 3 more times on this side. Same idea of relaxing the ribs. Thinking heavy sternum, heavy shoulders. And it's a very small movement, almost undetectable. So just tune in and try to find this deep, rolling, smooth sensation. Reverse. Noticing which parts feel a little sticky, which parts are a little harder for your body. It's going to be different for all of us. Maybe taking a little extra time in the spot that feels a little sticky. It's for me right here. I'm just going to breathe into that spot for a moment and then continue. I think we have one more. Heavy sternum, heavy back ribs, finding that nice neutral pelvis again. We're just going to reach the right sits bone, slide it along the mat, so lengthening the right side of the torso. And then we're going to reach the left sits bone towards your heel. So I'm just sliding one pelvic half towards my heel, sliding my left pelvic half towards the heel. So there's a little bit of a lengthening and a shortening happening in your torso on opposite sides. Your legs are staying out of it. Good. Knees come up to tabletop, flex the feet, heels towards your butt, hands on your thighs. We're going to try to lift our tailbone off the mat by scooping our lower abdomen up. We're going to resist that action with our hands, and our head and shoulders are going to come off the mat. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under. On the exhale, resist. So it doesn't look like much, but it's really, really hard. And release that. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Nod your chin to your chest. Resist your legs with your hands and your hands with your legs. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under. Try to lift it off the mat. Feel your abs sinking and deepening more as you do this. And relax down, hug your knees into your chest. Rock back and forth. Make little circles with your knees in one direction. And reverse it. All right. Feet back on the mat. Neutral pelvis, hips in line with knees and ankles. We're just going to do some knee folds. So on the exhale, we're going to think about creasing at the hip. Right leg floats up to tabletop. and lower it down. We're going to march back and forth from each leg. As you do this, you want to try to maintain the natural curves of your spine. So notice which parts of your spine are touching the floor when your feet are down, and try to maintain that as you lift the knee up. Good. Feeling the femur bone deep in the joint. Good. You're going to take the right leg up. The left leg comes to meet it. Right leg goes down. The left leg goes down. Start with the other foot. Notice if your ribs are wanting to reach up to the ceiling. See if you can keep that heaviness in the ribs and the sternum. Again, right leg, left leg. Deepening the low abdomen. Maintaining equal weight on both sides of the pelvis. So you're avoiding rocking back and forth. One more time each side on your pelvis. Sits bones reach far away from you as the knee goes up. So you're really getting that nice drop and glide. One more time. Shoulders easy. Good. Wrap your hands around the base of your skull, wide elbows, wide collarbones. Inhale on the exhale, nod your chin to your chest. Roll the ribs down and back. Good. Release that. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale, swing the ribs down and back. And release. See if you can unhook your tailbone. So you want to avoid tucking under as you do this, and think wide sits bones reaching towards your heels. Good. One more. And we're going to stay. Staying up, we're just going to march the right leg up to tabletop, the left to meet it. Right down, left down, torso down. Other side. Left leg, right leg to meet it. The left leg down. Good, we're going to do that same thing each side. As I take my knee up, my pubic bone reaches far away. Same with my sits bones. Equal length on both sides of the torso. Good. Inner thighs together, feet together. Nod and curl up one more time. That's a lie. We're going to do it a few more times. Take both legs up to tabletop. Good. Staying up with the head and shoulders. We're just going to tap the right toe down and bring it back up. And I'm saying toe, but I want you to think more thigh moves. So the femur bone moves so the toes touch the ground. I'm not bending my knee to do this action. I'm actually moving my leg. Ooh, okay, feel the burn. Staying rounded up. And up. One more time. Good. Slowly lowering both legs for 5. Inner thighs together. 4. 3, 2, 1. Release the torso. Feet hips distance apart. Let's just take an articulating bridge. So we're going to start with that tuck of the tailbone, peeling the spine off the mat, reaching the knees long. Once you're up here, see if you can soften the front ribs again, right? So you think about opening up the back, softening the front. Roll down from the throat, sternum, high ribs, middle ribs, and then at the very end, untuck your tailbone. 2 more times, just like that. All right. Liebherr Bridge. So we're going to step into our feet, take the entire shape of our spine up. Once you're up, now you have that drop of the ribs, that opening in the back. I want you to think about reaching your leg bones away from your hip points, these two bony points, so you create more space in the front of your hips and you really get the back of the legs engaged. That's hard. To come down in the Liebherr Bridge, we crease at the hips, sits bones reach far away. And let's do 2 more times, just like that. So you're lowering a longer spine each time. Good. Going up 1 more time. Up. We're going to lower the hips about 3 inches. We're going to pour all of our weight into that right foot and then march the left leg up to the ceiling. Good. Lowering it down. Pour all the weight into that left foot and march the right foot up to the ceiling. So I'm really thinking lower legs heavy, reaching down into my foot. The pelvis is not dipping, so if you want to check, touch your hip points as you switch legs and see if they're staying nice and even. So you shouldn't be dipping. Woo! I'm about to cramp. 1 more time each side. What are your ribs doing? What are your shoulders doing? Good. And lower your butt down. All right, 1 more bridge thing, I think. So we're gonna go up. Liebherr Bridge. Lower your butt a few inches. Pour your weight into that right foot. Left foot, lift the right leg up. Right, we're just gonna do toe taps here. So I keep my hip points even. And remember what I said about the thigh moving for the toe tap rather than just bending the knee. 3. So this is a lot of load on that left leg. 4. Sinking the ribs. I was just looking at the video. My ribs want to slay. So I know yours do too. I don't know what we're on. Let's just do this one. Put the foot down and pour the weight into the right leg. Here we go, some toe taps on this side. Good, your femur bone is scooping out your hip socket. So you get this nice crease in the hip for good hip mobility. It's gonna help you a lot. It's gonna help you feel better in your body. It's gonna help the joint function better. 1 more. Good. Lower the butt down. Whew. Lengthen the legs long. Let's flex the feet. Take the arms up to the ceiling. Palms together. So inner thighs together, reaching the legs long underneath you. Let's just nod and curl here. So we drop the heart and the sternum back. And then come back on the ground. Good. Drop the heart and the sternum back. And down. Notice what your hip flexors are doing. Are they grabbing? Is everything shortening? Think long, 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 long. Good. Stay up this time. We're going to rotate 1 direction. Come to the center. Feel your ribs spiraling. Good. A couple more times each side. Thinking about your sternum rotating so you get nice movement in the rib cage. 1 more time. Staying up with the flexed spine. Good. Lower your torso, bend your knees back up to tabletop. Nod and curl your head off the mat. On the exhale, deepening the abs. Fingertips reaching long. So we're gonna do hundreds. You either stay in tabletop or at any point, if you wanna make it more challenging, Reach your legs long on the diagonal. I don't know what I'm going to do yet because I'm tired. But we're going to pump the arms. We're going to inhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And deepen. Inhale. And deepen. Halfway there. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Bend the knees, lower the spine. Take the right leg up. Cross it over your left knee and let all of that fall to one side for a little side bend. Take your arms to a T, that feels nice. And breathe. Feel that side body line opening up. So the iliac crest, the top of that pelvis, is stretching long and away from the bottom edge of your ribs on this left side. Knee reaches down. Come up. Switch legs, left leg over right knee. Let the weight of that leg pull you down. Same idea here. The edge of your pelvis, we're reaching long away from the bottom part of your ribs. So you're really opening up. You can touch yourself and pull those two parts apart for a little proprioception. All right, let's move on to our side. Yeah. Take your book or your block and rest your head on it like a pillow. Stack your top side right on top of your bottom side so you're not leaning forward or leaning back or curled up too much. So I like to stack myself up with the edge of the mat because it's a nice straight line that can help you find vertical in your body. We're going to traction our hips away from us a little bit so we're not just curled up here. We're going to traction the top hip away so we have a little bit of lift in our bottom abdomen. Let's take the legs a little more like 90 degrees in front of you. Yeah. No. Thighs 90 degrees, tuck the heels in a little bit. Let's put our hand on your top hip. Flex the feet. We're just going to hover the foot, the leg in this shape. We're going to hold it. As we're here, we're going to think wide sit bones, right? This is one of my favorite images. We're not tucking the tailbone under. We're like almost sticking our booty out like we're sitting on something. Good. We're going to start here at hip height. We're just going to lift the leg 2 inches and lower. Do about 10 of these. 3 and 4. You're not changing your torso at all. 5. Your belly's lifting in. 6. 7. You're also not moving your pelvis. It's just the leg in the socket. 8 and 9. 10. Good. From here, you're going to lengthen the leg long at hip height. Let's stretch through the feet. So we're pointing our foot. We're going to do the same leg lift here. So keeping this space nice and even, we're just going to lift the leg a couple inches. And 2. Breathing, especially into that back space. 5. Easy front ribs. 9 and 10. Come back to hip height. We're going to flex the foot, take it forward, point the foot, reach, and take it back behind you a little bit. So flex it forward, point and back. I don't want this to come from the low back, so only take it as big as you can with maintaining the shape of your spine. 4, point, 5, and 6. Let's do 10. 7, maybe reach your arm up for a little extra challenge. 8, I'm not going to do that. 9, and 10. One last thing, keep the leg behind you so it's back behind your pelvis a little bit. Find the lift of your abdomen. We're just going to lift it and lower it behind you now. So lift, 2, 3, 4, straight leg, 'Good. Bend it in. And take a little moment for yourself. Switch to the other side. Use your book or your block as a pillow. Knees in front. Feet a little bit behind you. Stack yourself up. Traction that top hip. Stick the booty out a little bit like you're sitting down on something. Straight spine, so we have a little bit of lift on the left side. Hover the leg, flex the feet, hold it. So breathe in this position. You should be feeling the outside of your hip quite a bit, right? Wide sits bones and lift. 10 times here. Using your breath to facilitate. We tend to forget to breathe. That's not going to be helpful. 2 more. Reach the leg long underneath you. Straight leg. Find your torso. Find your setup. Are you tucking your tailbone under to do this? Reach the sits bones wide, right? Parallel position. We're just going to lift. Lower, 2, and 3. Good. Flex the foot forward. Point and take the legs behind you for 1. So as I flex my foot forward, I think about my sits bone reaching down. Point. Really stretching the front of the hips to the back. 3. And 4. Low back stays out of it. So it might not go very far, that's fine. I don't know, is this 6? 7. 8. Ooh, you should be feeling it. 9. And 10. Take it to the back, so it's behind you as far as you can go with maintaining your lumbar spine. We're just going to lift and lower here, so lift. Ooh, this is really hard for me. 2. Good. What are your ribs doing? 4, 5, 6. Hip point still reaches forward. 8. Oh my God. 9, 10. Oh, relax. Whew. We'll stretch our butts later. Let's sit up. Sitting up on your sits bones. My hair is all messed up. Oh well. Feet on the ground, tall spine. So we're not slouched. We're lifting up high on our sits bones. I'm holding onto my thighs. Wide collarbones. I'm going to tuck my tailbone under. And then I'm going to lift, rocking on my pelvis. So just exploring this movement of the lumbar spine. It's really hard for a lot of us. Tucking, still keeping the lift out of the crown of the head. So when I curl my lumbar spine, I'm not just collapsing everything. I'm thinking about continuing to stay long in my torso. Good, we're gonna roll down a little bit further. Continue rolling down. So you're in like a little C curve in your abdomen. Take the arms forward. Good. Staying in that curve, we're gonna open the arms and bring them back together. Open and close. Let's do 2 more. Ooh. Holding onto your thighs, helping yourself back up. Good, 1 more version of this. Shoulder blades nice and easy on your back. Tuck your tailbone under, 1 vertebrae at a time. Keeping your feet on the floor if you can. Big toe, baby toe, heel. Reach the arms forward. All right, keeping the curve. We're gonna take the arms up by the ears and then back down. Two more. 1 more. All right, rounding up, open the knees. Just hang your torso over for a little stretch. Feeling the weight of the skull. Your head is super heavy, so let that encourage the stretch of your back here. Rolling up. Let's move on to our stomach. And let's grab your block or your book. I'll use my book this time. And just put it in front of your mat. I'm going to come back to that. Can't really see with a chair. Okay. So, starting with the arms in a goal post position, elbows a little bit in front of your shoulders, so a little bit higher. Legs, let's do legs open a little bit. So we're still reaching through the legs, we're still engaging the abdomen. We're not gripping anything, but there's an awareness. We're gonna let the shoulders roll forward. We're going to think about rolling them onto our back. So this is a subtle movement. You might want to look at me for a second. The shoulders roll forward. Then I think about sliding my shoulder blades onto my back to roll the shoulders open. Good. We're going to do that simply 2 more times. So I let them round forward. This is where a lot of us want to live. And then I slide my shoulder blades on my back. One more time. Slide, rolling the shoulders open. You're going to keep that. Hover the head, lift the sternum forward, heart forward, into a little upper back extension. And then lowering all the way back down. Let the shoulders roll forward. We're going to slide the shoulder blades onto the back, rolling open the shoulders, hover the head. Think about deepening your rib cage into the mat to do this movement. You should really feel it in between your shoulder blades. Take your time to shine your heart forward. And lower. One more time. This time you're going to stay up. Think really about reaching your sternum and your heart long. It's not about how high you are, it's about how much length we can find in your body. Lift the arms off and really try to find that length. Good, and lower the arms down. Let's do that again. Keep the chest reaching long away, lift the arms off. And lower. A couple more times. Lift it off. And lower. This time we're going to rest the forehead on the mat. Put your palms on the book in front of you. Let's do thumbs together-ish. If that doesn't feel comfortable for your shoulders, you can widen your arms a little bit more. So now our arms are straight. I want you to slide the book forward and then draw the shoulder blades onto your rib cage. Right, so slide the book forward, shoulders up by your ears, and then drag the book back by feeling your scapula reach down. Up. And pulling the shoulder blades back. One more time, up. Oh, this feels so good. With a little pressure down into the book, and then drag it back. Okay, keep your scapula wide and resting on your rib cage here. We're gonna lift our heart off the mat. Good. Staying there. Press down into the left arm, reach and lift the right arm off. Right, so I'm pressing down into my left and reaching my right arm off. I'm gonna circle my right arm around and follow it with my focus. And then bring it back. We're gonna do a few more on the side. So I'm continuing to press down into my left arm, or whatever arm is on the book or block. As the arm swings back, can the heart reach forward more? One more. Arm swings back, heart reaches forward. And let's stay up and do the other side. So press the right arm into the book, hover the other arm off, and then I'm gonna swing it around. And I'm really just using my head to scan with my arm, rather than moving my torso. So I'm staying on my midline, but I'm just adding the focus. 3 more on this side. Good, soften down. Ooh. Slide the book away. Arms in a V position, thumbs up to the ceiling. So wide arms. And legs are about mat width apart. We're gonna lift everything off the mat. So inhale. Exhale, heart deepens to the floor, and then I lift everything up. Arms and legs and chest. You're just gonna hold this and breathe. Imagine being pulled by your fingers forward and your toes back behind you. Holding, holding, holding. Lower down. Good. Press back into a child's pose. And let your hips be heavy here. Rib cage resting on your thighs. You can rock back and forth. Easy head. Let's walk your hands over to one side, keeping that opposite hip point nice and heavy. Breathing into your lat. Walk your hands up and around to the other side. Sinking on the exhale.
So the reason why we're telling you this now is just so you can plan for it.
Back to the middle. Rolling up through your spine. Grab your block or your book so it's handy. Come on to all fours. Arms before we get into this position. Reach your fingertips up. I want you to think about externally rotating the upper arm bones. So imagine someone's grabbing your arm, externally rotating. That's on both sides. Right, so we're externally rotating our arm bones. And then just try, if you can, just flip the palms to face down. So we're internally rotating the lower arm bone as we keep that spiral externally rotating the upper arm bones, right? It's kind of a hard thing to do, so don't worry if it's not perfect, but we externally rotate the upper arm bones and then just take the palms and place them down for that spirally feeling in our arms. Okay, so we're all set up. Let's just do a couple cat-cows. So we scoop the belly. And then arch. Longest arch possible. Longest curve possible too. So it's not about how it looks or how big it is, but it's about creating more space in your body so you feel better. Finding a neutral spine. So another way to think about this is you can think about the eye of your elbow trying to like spiral to face forward. And if you're hyperextended in your elbows like me, you see this? We're going to try to avoid this by keeping a little bit of a micro bend in your elbows, right? So no, no, no. Yes. Okay, tuck the toes under. And we're going to do a little knee hover, so press into the ground with your palms. Find that micro bend in your elbows, lift the knees an inch off the ground. Breathe. This is a lot for your shoulders. It's pretty hard. Just feel the heat. Knees down, rest. Inhale. Exhale, sternum reaches forward a little bit more. As you press the ground away, lift the heels up. Easy neck. Are you letting that head droop? Probably. So think about elf ears. Somebody's pulling your ears, little elf ears, up to the ceiling. A retraction of the head. Good. Press into a downward facing dog. Tread through your feet for a little stretch of the back of the legs. Good, we're gonna bend our knees down to the floor. Grab your block. You're gonna hold your block like so, or your book. So thumbs and then fingers on the outside. Come down to your forearms, palms on the ground. So my butt is up in the air. I'm not tucking my tailbone under. I'm thinking long spine. Let's get our shoulders set up here. So I'm not dumping in my chest. I almost think about pressing the floor away. But at the same time, I think sternum reaches, like your heart reaches forward a little bit. Yeah? Okay. good enough for now, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. So in this position, I'm really pressing down through my forearms, and I'm gonna lift my elbows off the mat for a little tricep action. Lowering is just as important as lifting. So I'm keeping my butt where it's at, and I'm just trying to take this action into my upper body, my arms specifically. Good. Let's do a few more. So notice if, oh, these are so hard. You want to just collapse on the lowering. That eccentric movement of the muscles is extremely important and valuable. Good. Let's bend 2 inches and then lift. Bend and lift. So little pulses. Bend and 5, 4. What are your ribs doing? 3. Front ribs draw down. 2. And 1. Sit back under your heels. Roll your shoulders out. Okay. On your knees, if your knees bother you, roll up a towel and put it underneath your knee. So one leg straight out to the side. Take your block for a little assistance. You won't need it for very long. Long leg. Yep. I'm sure it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay. So let's take our arms. It's really weird not being able to see you guys, but I know you're doing great. So we're gonna cradle the base of your skull, elbows that same external rotation of the upper arm bone. We're gonna take our torso on a long diagonal from our heel out through the crown of the head. Good. So already, I wanna adjust this way, yeah. So this is hard already. This holding, your obliques are firing. Breathe. Now think equal length on both sides of the torso. Good. We're just gonna rotate our rib cage to try to see the mat. Bring it back to the center. Rotate the rib cage to try to see the ceiling. 2 more times. So my hip points continue to face forward, and I'm wringing my spine out. 1 more. All right, I'm gonna curve down and then bring it back up to neutral. 2. 3. 4. 2 more. 5. 1 more. 6. Come out of it. Ooh. Oh my God. That's hard. Let's do it on the other side so we can rest for a little bit after this. So 1 leg long, hands behind your head. We're just gonna lean through the spine to be 1 long line from heel to crown of the head. And we're just gonna hold it here. Breathe into your posterior side. So you might be here. I want you to think about filling up your back space. Holding it. Leg reaches long. We're gonna rotate to try to see the mat. And it's not your arms doing this. Your arms are connected to your rib cage that's moving. One more. Okay, breathe. Because I know I wasn't. We're gonna rainbow the ribs up and over, and then, ooh, come back to that vertical. Or neutral. 3, 4, 2 more. 1 more. Ooh. Grab some water because the teacher needs it. All right. We're gonna come into a little mermaid position of the legs. So I'm just stacking my left leg right on top of my right leg. I'm gonna reach around, hold on to my left shin. So all my weight's on this right side. Think wide collarbones. Sorry. We're gonna tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, really softening and opening up that right side. From here, think chest wide and high into a little arch. Scoop and rock. So I'm really hanging from my shin. I feel a nice stretch on my right side, and then arc it high. 2 more. Last one. Take the legs up to the ceiling, point the toes, and then switch to the other side. So one side is going to feel drastically different than the other. Totally normal. This side I can barely even like sit up, but whatever. Hold on to your shins. We have this little rotation in the spine. You're gonna tuck your tailbone under, curve your back, and I'm pressing into my hands with my shin. So I get this huge stretch on my left side. Rock and arch. Curve. Same idea here. We never really want to collapse into any of these positions. They're all elongated working positions. All right, swing your legs around. One more like hard thing before we stretch it out a little bit. Fingertips facing your butt, a few inches behind them. We're gonna roll open the front of the chest, flex the feet, and then just take the butt up into the air, opening up our chests and really working our posterior body. Holding it, really try to widen the front of the chest and then crease at the hips. Let's do 2 more. One more. All right. Let's stretch our butts. So cross your right ankle over your left knee and reach around, grab underneath your left thigh. And you're gonna easily pull that thigh into your chest. And if you want more of a butt stretch, try to avoid tucking the tailbone under, okay? So you wanna keep that reach long through the sits bones, like I always say, and then pull the thigh into the chest. Breathe here. Okay, we're gonna take this shape. Let's actually drop the left foot and then let that entire shape fall over to the side until your right foot is on the ground. And I like to hold on to my right shin and then think about opening up my right knee. So you can also use your other hand to assist with that. I'm not going to. Bring it back, hug the knee into the chest, lengthen the left leg long. Rolling the thigh around. Let's wrap behind the thigh and actually bend the leg again. We're just gonna flex the foot, kick the heel up to the ceiling for a little hamstring stretch, and then bend it back in. So, leg bone is plugged into the hip socket. I'm just opening up the back part of the leg. Think about the heel reaching further away from the knee, up to the ceiling. Let's hold it this time. Point the foot and flex. Point, flex. Maybe hug the leg in a little bit more. Point and flex. Lower it down. Left ankle over right knee. Hug it in. Let that shape, take the right leg down. Let that shape fall to the side. I like to hold on to that left shin and then open up my left thigh here. Rolling onto your backs, hug that thigh into the chest, lengthen the bottom leg, rolling it around, bend the bottom leg, hold onto the back of the thigh, flex the foot, kick the heel up to the ceiling, hamstring, bending it. So, neutral spine, neutral pelvis, just working on the back of the legs here. Stay. Point. And congratulations, you're done. You come on over. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you feel a little better in your bodies after that. Please check out all of our classes that the Mark Morris Dance Group has to offer on our YouTube page. And if you can, please make a donation to our Dance on Recovery Fund. It's essentially just going to help support the company and the dance sitter, so we can come back after all of this and bring you performances and give you lots of classes. So I'm Lesley Garrison again. You can follow me on Instagram at Move with Lesley, Lesley, and I just do updates on classes and performances there. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.